Today, I really want to talk about something that's very near and dear to me, something that really frustrates me. And the topic is excuses. So let me tell you something about excuses. They often sound so convincing. They feel so real. They make perfect sense in your head. I need the benefits. The timing's not right. I have a family. The economy is bad. No one's hiring. Right? You know what all those things have in common? They're the exact same excuses people were using 5 years ago, 10 years, 20 years ago. And you know what? Those same people, you know what they're doing now? They're in the exact same place, still making excuses, still stuck, and still miserable. So my name's Kenny. I'm a former VP. And I've lived through some difficult times just like you have. I've led teams through bankruptcy, through crisis, through acquisitions, through chaos, and I've heard every excuse you can imagine. Today, we're killing them. Every single excuse, they're gone. Because your excuses, they're not protecting you. They're destroying you. Here's what nobody tells you about excuses. They're natural. But they're not reasons. You may think they're reasons, but in essence, they're permission slips. Permission slips to stay comfortable. It's permission to stay scared, to keep doing exactly what you've been doing while pretending you want something different. You say, I can't leave my job because I need the health insurance. But what you're really saying is, I'm willing to trade my one life for health insurance that might pay for the stress-related illness I'm developing from hating my job. You say the timing is not right, but what you're really saying is I'm scared, and I'm hoping if I wait long enough, someone will make this decision for me. You say I have responsibilities, but what you're really saying is I'm going to teach my children that adults just endure life instead of building it. See, I'm not saying your circumstances aren't real. I'm saying your interpretation of them is a choice. And right now, you're choosing the interpretation that keeps you stuck. So let me call out some of the common excuses I hear basically every week. The first one is, I need the stability. I can't make change because I need the stability. Stability? There's zero stability in hating your life for 40 years. There's zero stability in being one reorganization away from losing your sacrificed job that you did everything for. Real stability comes from skills, options, confidence, and courage. Not a company that will replace you in 2 weeks. The next one I hear often is, I'm too old to start over. Too old? I want you to think about Colonel Sanders, who started KFC at 62. Vera Wang entered fashion at 40. You're not too old, you're too scared. And you're using age as a convenient excuse because it sounds better than, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I can't do it. I'm afraid I will fail. The next excuse I hear often is, I don't have time, right? That's a big one. I've used it before. You have time for Netflix though, right? You have time to scroll on your phone. Do you have time to complain to your friends? You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. And your priorities are keeping you exactly where you are. Now, I've used this excuse before. I remember when, I was growing up and I was doing well, getting promoted, and my grandfather was someone that was near and dear to my heart. And weeks turned to months, months turned to 6 months to a year before I was able to visit him. And when I did, I was telling him about all my accomplishments, and he was very proud of me. And then I apologized and said, I wish I came more often. I just haven't had the time. And he looked at me and he said something that I'll never forget. And I think is why I don't like excuses at this day and age. He looked at me and said, listen, I'm proud of your accomplishments. You're working hard. I appreciate, the person that you're becoming, but please don't ever give me an excuse again. And I looked at him confused. Like, what do you mean? I've been busy. I haven't had the time. He goes, you're telling me you haven't had 30 seconds to make a phone call once in the past, X months. You didn't have 1 hour to swing over here to come visit me. He goes, I'm very appreciative that you're here today. I'm very happy to hear about your progress. But if it was important to you, you would have found a way, right? So that right there, that resonated with me on I don't have time. We all have time. We all have downtime. It's what we choose to do in that time. The next one is that the economy is bad right now. Well, the economy is always going to be bad for people making excuses. And it's always good for people who are making moves. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. They don't exist. They never existed. And they never will. How about this one? I don't know where to start. There might be some reality in that statement to a degree, but you have to do something. So you do know where to start. You absolutely know. You know exactly what the first step is. You're just pretending you don't, because if you admit you know, then you have to do it. And doing it is what's uncomfortable. So you hide behind the confusion. So now here is where things get interesting. Every excuse that you're making, they're not original. Someone else made them too, right? And they also beat it. Single parents have built businesses. People with chronic illness have changed careers. People with mortgage and children and responsibility have made moves and become successful. But you know what the difference is? They decided their future was more important than their comfort. They decided being uncomfortable for 6 months was better than being miserable for 6 decades. They decided to bet on themselves instead of betting on their circumstances magically improving. And here's the thing about excuses. They compound. Every day you use an excuse, it gets stronger. It burrows deeper into your identity. It becomes who you are instead of just something you're saying. You start out saying, I can't leave because of the benefits. And 6 months later, you're saying, I'm just not that kind of person who takes risks. A year later, you're saying, this is just how life is. And 5 years later, you've forgotten you even ever had a choice. That's what excuses do. They turn temporary situations into permanent identities. So the real reason people are making excuses. It's not because excuses are true. It's because change is terrifying. And I get it. I really do. Change means uncertainty. It means possibly failing. It means people may judge you, may laugh at you, may criticize you. It means you might be wrong. But you know what's more terrifying? Looking back when you're 65 years old and realizing you had one shot at this life and you spent it making excuses. You had dreams, you had potential, you had fire inside of you, and you traded it all for a steady paycheck, decent benefits, and the comfort of knowing exactly how miserable you'd be every single Monday morning. That's not safety. That's surrender. And you're better than that. You know you are. Your future self is watching what you do right now, and I assure you, they're begging you to stop making excuses. Have confidence in yourself. Because 5 years from now, you're either going to be living the result of the decision you made today, or you're going to be living with the regret of the decision you didn't make, still making the same excuses, but 5 years older. Which one of those can you live with, right? Which one is worth a shot? So what do you actually do about this? I recommend step 1, write down your top 3 excuses you use right now. The ones you tell yourself, the ones you tell other people, please write them down. Step 2, ask yourself, is this a reason or a permission slip? A reason is I'm recovering from surgery and physically cannot work 60 hours a week right now. A permission slip is I need to wait until after the holidays to make any changes. Be honest. Which is it? And label it next to each one. Step 3, ask the hard question. What am I really afraid of? Because underneath every excuse is a fear. Find it, name it, because you can't beat what you won't face. This is very important to identify what that fear is. And step 4, set a deadline. Not someday, but a real deadline. 90 days, 120 days. Pick one, write it down, tell someone, and make it real. Because without a deadline, it's just a wish. And wishes don't change lives. Decisions and deadlines do. Step 5, take one action in the next 24 hours that makes your excuse irrelevant. I don't have time. Get up an hour earlier tomorrow. Block 30 minutes tomorrow morning. I don't know where to start. Research one option right now. I need stability. Calculate exactly what your benefits cost. You'll find it's less scary than you think. One action, 24 hours, no more analysis, no more planning. It's time to move. So look, I'm not going to stand here, sit here, whatever I'm doing right now, but to tell you that it's easy, because it's not, right? Killing your excuses is hard. You're used to it. It's really hard. There'll be days you doubt yourself, days you want to go back to comfortable misery, days you think maybe I was wrong to try this. That's normal. Push through it, because here's what's on the other side. Waking up and not dreading the day, building something that matters to you, not just collecting a paycheck, teaching your children that life is something you create, not something you survive, looking in the mirror and respecting who's looking back. That's worth being uncomfortable for. And you know what's crazy? A year from now, you're going to be somewhere. That's guaranteed. We all know that's going to happen. The only question is, where are you going to be? Are you going to be in the same place with the same excuses, with the same misery, the same doubts, the same fear, or 1 year into building something different? Maybe it's not perfect yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out, but at least you're alive. At least it's moving. Please stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to save you. No one's coming. You're the only person who can change your life, but you have to actually decide. Not wish, not hope. Decide and then move. So here's my challenge to you. Drop a comment right now. Tell me the one excuse you're killing today. Not next week, not when you're ready, but today. Say it out loud. Make it real. Own it. And then tomorrow, when that excuse tries to creep back in, you remember this moment. You remember you decided that you were done. Your future self is counting on you. Don't let yourself down. So please, subscribe if you're done making excuses and ready to unlock your performance. Let's go.